And let's get some more on this in the studio with Douglas Herbert, our foreign affairs commentator. Doug, we know what the Russians are saying today. We heard it clearly there from Daniel Hawkins. We also know what the Ukrainians are saying, which is that they had nothing to do with this. But what is clear today, amid all this kind of murky language, is rhetoric today is ramping up quite seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the rhetoric most notably, which Daniel alluded to, the Russian parliament speaker saying there will be no negotiations with Zelensky, basically demanding, he didn't mention this, but the Russian parliament speaker also demanding that the Kyiv region be destroyed. That is, regime replacement, essentially, right? We're going back to the extremely shrill rhetoric that we heard in the very opening days of this war, before the Russians suffered a military setback, to put it mildly, which forced them to reverse course from their assault on Kyiv and turn to the Donbass instead. But the fear really here with the Ukrainians is regardless of where responsibility lies, right? We don't have enough information right now to say, yes, the Ukrainians did it. No, this was staged. Maybe it's AI. Who the hell? We don't know at this point. But regardless of who is behind this alleged attack, this alleged assassination attempt, as the Russian state-controlled media is calling it, it does dovetail perfectly. It perfectly serves the Putin's narrative to this point, a sham and bogus narrative, we might add, that it is not Ukraine, which is right now on the receiving end of a war of aggression from its northern neighbor, Russia, but rather it's Russia in this sort of through the looking glass narrative, flipping everything on its head. It's Russia that's actually under attack. It is Russia whose national security is threatened. And Putin is the valiant defender in this narrative. He's not a war criminal, as the West casts him, who should be arrested for his crimes in Ukraine. Rather, he is a man who is trying to protect his motherland and its citizens valiantly against an attack from these Ukrainian Nazis out to bring down Russia. That's the bogus sham narrative. And this claim of an assassination attempt against Putin, like I said, plays perfectly into that. It is perhaps no coincidence that shortly after this report, these flashes started to emerge earlier, just a few hours ago, several regions in eastern and central Ukraine announced air alerts. The fear among Ukrainian officials going ahead, Nadia, will essentially be that this will give Putin cover to do, he's already, they say, doing whatever he wants in Ukraine, but to really ramp up, escalate the war of aggression and do whatever he wants under the cover now of this narrative of an assassination attempt against Putin.